guys. Sorry. Thank you for being here. That's my new puppy. Oh my God. Sorry about that, guys. But anyway, thank you for being here. Let me see if I can entertain him for 1 second. Forgive me for muting for 1 second, guys. Hold on. Okay, sorry about that. He's like a Yorkie. Well, our Yorkie poo passed away in February of 2020, and my son-in-law and my daughter got me this beautiful little. He's actually a cockapoo Yorkie, so he's part Cocker Spaniel. Well, all you see is Yorkie poo though, but he's adorable. But he barks too much. He's very jealous of the other dogs. Anyway, thank you guys so much for coming back and for being here. Oh my gosh, I've been gone for. Oh, hold on. There we go. We had some feedback. There's always trouble. I'm actually asked my husband to join us. I don't know if he's going to do that. I'm going to put up the link for anyone else to join me. Today, Cheryln Cadle's new book released. And hey, Moonchild. Hi, everybody. It released, and I actually got a copy. The only thing released right now is her ebook. The Kindle copy is available, and so that's what I got. And I did some speed reading, and you know what? I've got a few things to say about it. I think that obviously it was much better written than the first book. This book is more. She covers the series of events as they happen. She covers, the news coverage and, going to the police department and all of the interviews and, everything that we already know. But she's not simply copying and pasting. I want to tell you that right up front. There's Cher. I love my Cher. Hey, Cher.
Welcome back.
Thank you for being here. Look at my background doesn't quite fit. That's weird, but that's okay. It's good. It'll do. I actually asked my husband to show up tonight. He's thinking about it, so we'll see.
I heard that Mr. Cher will be here soon.
Yay! And that's what I told him. I said, my girlfriend and her husband are going to be on, and he's like, okay, we'll see. I said, husband. Anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. No. Anyway, so yeah, I literally speed read Cheryln Cadle's book in the last 3 or 4 hours. Now, admittedly, of course, I skipped over the narration where she's simply retelling the story. Now, again, I was impressed by the fact that she's not just simply copying and pasting from the Discovery. She's not just copying and pasting. She's retelling the story as though none of us know anything about it, which is the proper way to go about telling a true story. So she's written this book so that people who are just coming into this whole horror of the Watts, murders rather, they would, if you don't know anything from scratch, you're going to learn a lot about it through this book. Now, granted, there are a lot of other books that tell the entire story as well, but Cheryln did do that too. Now, if we want to talk about, oh yeah, there's Cher's channel there. Thank you, Foxy Lady. Everybody got and Cher, thank you. Before anything else, I want to say thank you for helping me get to 1,000 subscribers. That's so cool. Thank you. I just don't know how to do anything with it beyond that, but I might. I think I did it right. I don't know, but you're amazing, and all of your lovely subs came over here and gave me the amount that I needed. I appreciate that. I appreciate you, and I love you. But
you helped me with my channel, girl.
I know you're just amazing. Oh my gosh! But so thank you everybody who did come over and sub. Hey Stephanie, thank you. But going back to Cher, have you bought it yet? Has anyone out there purchased the Kindle copy yet?
No, heck no. Hi, everybody.
It's only $3.99 and definitely worth it.
I'm afraid I'll break the Kindle.
Oh, you're funny. Again, I skimmed the parts which were simply a retelling of the story, which is, fine. I do know the story. What I was more interested in, and I know that Cheryln's been on Alan's channel. I haven't been able to watch much of anybody else's YouTube programs, and I feel bad about that, but I'll catch a few seconds here and there of everyone's stuff, every once in a while. And I know she's been on Alan's show, and I don't know I thought, from what I can tell from the few seconds I've seen, I thought that she was coming to a different conclusion than what I came to. But that might just be me misinterpreting the few seconds I've heard of her speaking to Alan. Did everyone else get that impression that she may have come to the conclusion that there were more people involved in the Watts murders? Or is that just my imagining? I don't know. Maybe I could be wrong.
I think that's what yeah, but to be honest, I'm not sure if she came to that conclusion or if it was a lot of other people because
Okay.
um I believe the woman who had the dream is claiming there was 4 people there.
Right. Okay. Okay. So that's, well, let
Two
me tell you
women and
first,
2 men.
from the very beginning, this book, okay, does not take anyone's dream and talk about it. There's no place in this book for that. So that, Cheryln didn't do that. I'll say that right up front. That's not in there at all. None of that narrative is really in there at all. What she did include, I believe she has 3 or 4 letters from Christopher Watts that she included, and she did include the original scanned images of his letters at the very end of the book, and I was very happy to see that. So I think that she did do what she said she was going to do. She included more information, more words from Chris. Now, there are many technical errors in the book, and I sort of blame any editor would have fixed these things, but they're not glaring errors to a layman. You're not going to look at that and say, oh my gosh, she's missing quotations. And, I see that because I am a writer, where she's missing a lot of quotation marks where there should be quotations. It's not clear whether or not Chris is speaking out loud to her or whether or not it's written in a letter. But again, that's technical stuff that an editor could have caught. There are no glaring, well, there are glaring grammatical errors to me, but not necessarily to you guys. For instance, if I say all the people who are here tonight are my friends, notice how I say all the people who, WHO. I would never say all the people that are here tonight because you're not an object, you're a person, so I'd call you who. Well, throughout the book, Cheryln calls people that, as though you're saying, the chairs that are in front of me are the chairs that I love or whatever, you're not. So that's throughout the book. She makes that error, which I would hope an editor would catch at least the first few instances and, whatever. So there's that. And that's a pet peeve of mine where people say who, that rather than who. But, that's something that could be attributed to the editor. Maybe the editor thought it should be that everywhere and he changed every instance she had of who, I don't know. So there's that. But then, again, there are a few grammatical errors. Her paragraphs, oh my gosh, any aspiring writer out there, if you want to write, you can. If I can, you can. Just write the way you speak. I was telling someone this the other night. But you got to cut paragraphs. Cut paragraphs as if your life depended on it. I will have 1-word paragraphs. I will have 2-word paragraphs. I'll have 1-sentence paragraphs. Cut every single paragraph as much as you can. Because if you don't, 2 things happen. You lose your way in the paragraph. And by the time you get to the bottom of the paragraph, which is, 20 sentences long or whatever, you've lost your way. And it had the last few sentences have nothing whatsoever to do with the beginning sentences. And that's what Cheryln did in every single instance in this book. She'll have 20-word paragraphs where the end of the paragraph has nothing whatsoever to do with the beginning of the paragraph. And again, the editor should have caught that and cut her paragraphs down to 2 or 3 sentences each. The other problem with that is that the reader loses interest. And how many times have you been reading and you'll skim a paragraph that's long and not even try to read it? And I understand why she did that with Chris's letters, because she was printing verbatim exactly what he said, and that's wonderful. And he did have plenty of long paragraphs, but every paragraph in the book goes on and on for about 20, hold on a second. Oh, sorry. I can't eat and chew gum at the same time. That's you.
Tanya, I texted you just to make you smile. If you just look at that, what I sent you real quick, you're going to see.
Oh my gosh, you're awesome. You're so cool. I love you, Cher. Oh my gosh. But yeah, getting back to Cheryln's paragraphs, they're too long, and they don't mean any. The beginning of the paragraph doesn't mean anything that the end of the paragraphs mean. So if you guys can get through that, it is fairly well written. I will give her that. For a first book, she did fine. This is the way the initial book should have been written, and she would have done just fine. It's not anything. There are no huge new pieces of information that at all, except for the fact that Christopher did tell her, no, Nikki had nothing to do with this. And I think at one, again, I sped read this book, but I do believe at one point he even says she's a victim too, or maybe that was Cheryln's own musing. But so in other words, it seems as though the entire crime happened exactly the way I assumed it did, which again,
Can
this
I
is
just
coming.
say something?
Yeah, yeah,
But
yeah.
I have text messages from her where she's claiming to me that Chris told her Nicole was there that night. You
No,
remember?
not at all.
It's on my
That
email.
did not come out in the book at all. If he did tell her that, then she didn't put it in the book.
So which time is she lying then?
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. And you know what? I see
Really
Robbie.
quiet.
Robbie, would you come here? Come here,
Hey,
Robbie.
Robbie.
Can I have Robbie?
But yes,
Um,
I can literally, I mean, I have shown the proof. She told me she was there that night. Chris told her, and that she has a little boy.
yeah, no, see, none of that was maybe Cheryln. I, I, I don't know what to say except for what she's written in the
Okay.
book.
Okay.
I don't know. And no, in the book, again, she pretty much follows the same line of reasoning that I believe, which is that Chris did it on his own. He did try to kill the children twice. He did, the girls were not alive when he put them into the holes. But Cheryln thinks like I do also that maybe one or both of them were still alive, but God, let's hope not. Um,
Mhm.
and she pretty much and she sums it all up nicely. The book is not bad. I don't want to say that it is. I'm going to go and give her a nice review officially on Amazon and wherever else it comes from. But the new things are we do get additional letters from Chris. Oh, hold on. You know what? I'm getting over my
Hi,
StreamYard.
Mekcee. You guys are welcome up here. The link's in
Yeah,
the
I'd
chat.
love to have you guys up
Please
here.
come up
You
here.
know I love you. Hold on. Here is my link. Anybody who wants to come up here, even if you want to yell at me, I've been avoiding everyone yelling at me, but here I am.
No,
If you guys want
no.
to come up here and stomp your foot and tell me I'm wrong. But again, I think the book is a good history lesson about what happened in the Chris Watts case. I hate to call it the Chris Watts case, but and there also are a few letters included, and I don't know if these have been released or not, to the family, to the Watts family that he'd written for different occasions and things like that. And it's just all so bizarre. And he did premeditate it. He says so himself, according to Cheryln. At least a couple of weeks ahead of time, he did intend to kill the children, which is awful. And I think that's exactly what I thought, and I sort of thought that he dug part of the hole for Shanann's body prior to the date and the night, the morning, whatever, that he killed them. But he says that he started digging it that day, when he had the bodies out there at Serbia 319. So I don't know. Hi,
I
Max.
can
Hi,
believe that
everybody.
because it was very shallow. If he had dug it ahead of time, I would hope. Okay, that's actually wrong wording. Jesus.
No,
I
you're
would
fine.
feel like, well, I wouldn't hope he would dig it deeper. But what I'm saying is, if he did it in advance, I can't believe how shallow it
How
was to
shallow it
begin.
was.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah.
And there is some point in the book where Cheryln or Christopher says that, I think it was Christopher saying in a letter or in a conversation, there's a part where it's not very clear whether or not he was speaking to her or whether it was part of a letter, where he said that he did not realize how shallow the grave was because the top of the earth moved very easily, as Natasha figured out when she went out there, that the earth was very easy to move, but he thought that the grave was much deeper than what he had dug. So yeah, I don't know. And I
Hmm.
do sort of, I believe this. I mean, it's all very convincing. When you read his words, and I know he lies, but, and then Cheryln also confirmed the fact that it was actually, Shanann's old medication that he used to try to poison her with and to try to cause the miscarriage when they were in North Carolina. So, but going back to the book, I think she did fine. If I were to give her a lesson on how to write, I'd say cut those paragraphs like your life depended on it. Make sure that, there are a few, again, you can go through all my books and you're going to find a few typos that made it through me and the editors and everything else. And in Cheryln's book, there are a few more than there should be, but that's okay. I don't know who her editor was. It wasn't as though she wrote it poorly. It was just that there were editing things that should have been caught, in my opinion. But yeah, that's about it. If you guys have any questions about the book, and in the end, she does mention social media. She talks a little bit about her experience with social media, and any one of us who are out there, whether as an author or as a creator or both, like me, I think I'm the only one. I think Cheryln's out there sort of on her Facebook stuff, but I think that anything that any of us have gone through, and we can relate to how the bullying is out there and how people are awful. Yeah, you're right, Max. You don't miscarriage from a couple of oxy, and I'm trying to hold on a second. Let me start highlighting stuff here. You're right. You don't. However, I think it was 80 milligrams. And in Cheryln's book, he says that he researched the fact that 80 milligrams should or might cause a miscarriage. So that is also in the book. And he did grind it up and put it in her shake. Let's see here. So yeah, there are a few. What's the book called? The name of the book is, oh my gosh, hold on a second. It should be in the title of my, hold on. The Murders of Christopher Watts. That is the title of the book. I have a link in my description here to get directly, it's like the first link I put up there before my email, to get directly to where you can purchase her ebook. And the ebook is the only thing available today. I'm assuming that the paperback will load maybe by tomorrow. I don't know, maybe by tomorrow, depending on how busy they are right now over there. But I know that the ebook is up today, which is awesome. I mean, it's awesome that it's up. Now, I don't know. Let me look at the cover here. I don't know about the cover. And, I read it so quickly that I didn't really take much of a glance at the cover. Yeah, the cover, the children do. Here's something. The children do resemble the children who were in the Lifetime movie, but I don't think that's who they are. They might be simply stock models, like the gentleman who's on the front of my book. He's a stock model. These kids may very well be stock models. And other than that, I don't, there's a silhouette of a woman's face who is not Shanann, but again, she's probably a stock model. I don't think any images were stolen for this, especially if she had a reputable publisher, but I think her publisher, again, was a vanity press. I could be wrong, but I think she did do a vanity where she had to pay. You never have to pay to get published, guys. Come on. If you have a book you want to publish, talk to me and I'll find you a publisher, or we can work together and we can get a publisher for you. You should, your publisher pays you. You don't pay to publish. Let's see here. Those things are written in the letters. Stephanie, a lot of it is written into the letters, and a lot of it is where Cheryln's saying that he told her this stuff. And again, because I read it so doggone quickly, I'm talking like 2 hours I read this thing in. I don't remember necessarily which parts came from where, but yeah, so it's either in the letters actually, or it's when he was talking to Cheryln. And plus, like I said, there are some quotations missing where I don't know if these were words that were spoken out loud to Cheryln from Chris, but there's a part of the book where it swings from Cheryln saying, these are conversations I have with Chris, to boom, automatically it's in the first person, I, blah, 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 and it's talking from Chris's perspective. So I don't know. That should have all been in quotes if it was actually a conversation. And if it was a letter, it should have been delineated in some way, either in italics, or set off a different way so that you could tell that it was a letter she was now quoting. But it wasn't. So again, that's editing issues where those sections should have been set off differently. So I know whether or not it was an actual quote or if it came from a letter where he simply wrote it out. I don't know. But yeah, he probably looked up the lowest dose that could. You're right, Angelina. That makes sense. The mirroring my responses, and I'm still a pharmacist. Oh, okay. All right, so you're talking about the 80 milligram thing, that's probably what could potentially cause that sort of a reaction that could cause a miscarriage. If that's true, I have a good idea who she means. She also said it comes in different ways and forms, but Cheryln said there is another accomplice. Now, see, there's nothing like that in the book. In fact, I don't want to read from Cheryln's book because that is her stuff. I could read a few hundred words, but I'm not going to. But in the end, she makes very distinct decisions about who did what and, who was involved. And all I'm going to say is Cheryln came to the same exact conclusion that I did. And if any of you read my book, you know what I'm talking about. And there's no Nothing else. There's nothing else there, guys. I promise you, she didn't say that it was aliens or that it was NK or no. There's nobody else involved. It was Chris Watts. Period.
Okay, so
Yeah.
I'm okay.
Yeah. Go ahead.
Let's keep it real, all the way real,
Keep it
Tanya.
real, man.
Why didn't she do this the first round then? Why did she do all the lies and stuff? Of course, she came to the same conclusion as you. Of
Right.
course she did, because you are respected more than her. So of course,
Oh
I
gosh.
feel like
Well,
again,
thank you.
she's
I don't
taking
know about
from you. I'm
no.
sorry. It
Thank you.
still smells like BS to me.
Oh God.
And hey,
I don't know. Well,
that
you went devil's advocate, or no? I'm the devil's advocate. You're just the devil. No, I'm kidding.
yeah, there you go. I'm fine with that one. But
You're
I mean,
that
I
one.
just want to keep it all the way real. This sounds like it should have been the original book. Why wasn't it? So
Yes.
now she knew who she should take from, how to copy it, and how to do it proper. This still isn't
Correct.
her own doings. Now she came to the same conclusion as Tanya Hagan, one of the most respected authors that did a book on the case.
Thank
Imagine
you,
that,
Cher. I
y'all.
don't know about that, but thank you. Oh
Good
my
for
gosh.
you, Cheryln Cadle.
I know. Not for nothing, but she didn't even know there was a fridge temp pick and discovery. She was so surprised when AD mentioned it. Yeah, I know. I don't
I
know. I
believe
didn't. I
so.
wish I would
Yeah,
have seen it.
Angela. Angela would like to come up on
Oh,
panel.
Angela, of course. Did I? Okay, let me put up the
Not
link
Angela
again.
Cannon, but Angela
Other
Gellerson.
Angela. There we go.
Yep.
Okay, I'll put up the link again, you guys. And did Robbie run away? I wanted Robbie up here, Mekcee, or both of them at the same time.
I
But
think
that's okay.
Robbie I believe is probably working right now, and I think Mekcee
Oh,
said
you're
he's
right.
working.
Okay, got it, got it, got it. I can't, I'm
I
terrible with
believe.
reading
I don't
chat.
know for sure, but usually he's working on Monday
Or
nights.
anybody else who wants to come up here, go ahead, Angela. Go ahead and take that link, and I will bring you up as soon as I see you.
Amber Alerts will pop on in a little bit, I think,
Ooh,
too.
she's a sweetie too. Yeah, I like all you. And I'm sorry I've been gone for a while, but I figured, as I was reading this and I was getting through it so quickly, I'm thinking, okay, well, let me schedule a live for a couple hours from now. I can get through it, and I did. So I know Tanya is
Mekcee said he's
gullible.
here. He's
What?
just hiding.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. And my husband said he actually might come on. Can you believe? He won't. He won't. I think he's cooking. He just got back from the grocery store. Um. I think there is some confusion. Hold on. Hold
Yes,
on, hold
Teresa.
on.
Yes, Teresa.
My
Yes.
I don't know why I'm not able to show stuff here. Okay, I think there's some confusion. She is saying Chris killed everyone, others conspired, or that's how I interpreted it. Okay, hold on. Teresa, no. She makes definitive claims in the end of this book what she believes, and there are no uncertain terms.
But she's literally flip-flopped harder than I did.
Or I'm not sorry. I'm
Hello?
sorry. I'm hi Angela. I'm looking at see squirrel, whatever.
Girl.
No, I don't think so. I mean, what I haven't watched any of her lives with AD. Again, I've caught maybe a few words here and there, but I have not watched anything well enough to know what she's claiming now. In her book, which she put to bed however long ago, I don't know when she actually finished it, she is not making any claims about anyone being involved other than Chris Watts.
Hello?
Hello.
Hey,
How are
Angela.
you?
I just watched AD and she said there was another accomplice and she knows who it is. And he
Oh
Yes,
asked her if
my.
she
see?
went to the
I'm
Okay.
police
telling you. She has
and
been going around saying there's 4 other people there.
and he said, have you gone to the police? She said the police already know and she's
Yeah.
scared to tell who it is.
Yep.
She said, if we're watching, she said we could figure it out because it's who's somebody that's like right in front of us.
What?
I
Okay,
know
well
who
now
it is.
here's a possibility. She could have written this book and then became aware of other information later.
She
Anya,
said she's
I
always had
want to shake you.
Okay,
she said
let me
she's
read you
always
guys.
had it.
Let me
I'm
read you
telling
guys
you.
here at the end of the book. She says, okay, listen, she
Let me
says,
guess who she thinks it is. I'm a genius. Is it KK?
She
KK.
won't tell. She said
No.
it's somebody that's right in front of us. She said, and you'd be surprised at who it is.
Oh
Mekcee,
my.
how could
And if
you?
that's true, I have a good idea, but I'm not going to say nothing because I
Are
could be
you
wrong, which I
kidding?
I
probably
will.
do.
Text it to me. I will. I'll say it. I know who it is. I know who it is.
Because I don't want to
KK.
accuse anybody I'm not sure of.
It's Kimberley Cucumber.
I hope not. Oh my. Well, here, let me read you guys this because I can read a little bit of her book because of fair use and all that good stuff. You know the case forward, and she's talking about readers who know the case very well, like us, everybody here. You know the case forward and backward, and if some of you still feel there are unanswered questions, here's what I advise. Number one, know that Christopher killed Shanann and her baby. He killed Bella and Cece. Number two, he killed them by himself with his own hands. Number three, Nikki was not involved in the murders. Number four, Christopher cannot blame any of this. Well, it should have been any one of this. I'm sorry, it's my mistake reading wrong. Any of this on anyone else other than himself. And it goes on from there, and that's enough for me to read right now. But that is her assertions at the end of the book to sum up everything she has thought and everything she has said within the book. So it's possible that she heard something else later and she has new information. I'm not going to keep her from that.
That picture of me as a lady standing backwards with curls in the back of her head.
Oh, really? Interesting.
Yeah.
Is that you? Is that a sketch of you?
No. Oh, no. Mm-mm. I just think it's pretty.
It is beautiful. I guess it's a beautiful sketch. Yeah, I thought that would be beautiful if they did that, of a person. I don't know. I used to be able to draw, but I don't know how to anymore.
No, but she's totally like acting like she's always known who this is. She's always known. And she's acting like she said, it's somebody that you'd be surprised at who it is, and she's scared to say who it is. Her life will be in danger.
What? Well, then why is she acting? Why? Okay.
Watch Ad's replay. It's a replay. Watch his replay, Tanya.
Okay, I will. I'd love to go on Alan's show with Cheryln. Maybe we can do that sometime. Well, not till after Christmas, but yeah, why not? I'm not going to be mean to her. Yeah, I would never be mean to somebody, but
I would. I don't like her. She threw me out of her group because I asked how much the book was.
Oh my. Okay.
She threw me out of the freaking group for asking that. You've asked it a million times. I'm like, no, I haven't. Like, I just want an answer. Now
Well, I don't know. The publisher, actually, the printer usually decides on your price, and your publisher decides whether or not they're going to raise it or whatever. But the publisher will give them the printer, however they're having it printed, will decide what the price would be for printing. If you're talking about the paperback or the hard copy, and then the publisher can raise it. Yeah.
Yeah. I was just asking how much it might be. I was willing to buy it. Now I won't. Now I will not.
Well, I bought the Kindle copy, and it's worth $3.
I won't give her a cent now.
Oh gosh!
And I have the money to give her. If she wants to charge me $149 for that book, honestly, I have the money to give that. But now I won't.
Sure. Oh my gosh! What Tanya's saying does not match what she said on 80. And I don't know. I'll have to go back. No, but I'll contact 80 and see.
Okay. So I'm gonna jump off here then.
If Cable knew she would need protection. Oh wow, really? Yeah, I mean, if there's some kind
because she's going and saying that there was other people now.
Hi, baby.
I wanted to back Cher up because she is saying that.
Yeah, she is.
Okay.
So what's that replay?
I definitely will. I believe whatever I want to believe. I'm just saying she's right. She's contradicting herself. But again, playing devil's advocate, did she find out later something? But if she's saying she knew it all along, then why'd she write the book as she did?
Why did it take 2 books on the same bullshit? Come on. And now mysteriously she's on like what Tanya Hagan said, but then she's talking completely different on everybody else's channel. No.
Wow.
And then I read reviews on that book, and they say the book is about the same as the other one.
It's this book is not okay. It is much better written. You guys have to. This is written by someone who looks. It seems as if she could write a book. It was done, not. I won't say very, very, very well. There are a lot of errors and a lot of problems with, punctuation and things like that, and usage of words and those paragraphs. I'm going to cry when I see the paragraphs, but that's just me being nitpicky about something I wouldn't produce that way. I don't want to be mean, and it's not me. It's just, basically matters of mechanics that I'm talking about.
Yeah.
And which again, an editor would fix it, and it looked as if the editor did do a good job, and then there's nothing terrible. There's no terrible grammar. It's fine. It's absolutely fine. Written well. It does tell the story of the Watts murders again. If someone were coming into this completely, clueless about what the Watts murders were. So it's fine. It's a book that is fine, actually. So I'm going to give it a 4 or 5 star review.
I'm not going to purchase it because she did that to me. Screw that. Mm-mm.
Yeah.
Nope.
Yeah. I agree. I don't know why you'd be blocked from a group or kicked out of a group. That's not cool. I don't know why. Yeah.
Probably because I told her straight up how it was, because after they said she answered it like 3 or 4 times, I said, no, she didn't. All she does is plagiarize. How could she don't even answer questions?
Yeah, so and I think, and I don't know if the book was she just went with the general concept that like what I believe is that Chris did it on his own, and no matter how many of my friends tell me differently, that's what I see. And if you read his letters, he's pretty darn convincing that that's exactly what happened. I read, again, there are 3 or 4 letters that she included in this, and it seems as if he did it. He's taken the blame for it, whether or not he really did. And there's also an element to it that she says that Chris had trouble remembering because of such a trauma, because of the trauma that he produced himself. He created the trauma, but it was a trauma nonetheless to his psyche, to his memory, whatever. And he couldn't really remember much of what happened in the days right after. Now, I think that's, I don't know. Take that with a grain of salt.
I think he was on drugs.
Maybe. Oh, yeah, maybe.
I think he was on methamphetamines, if you want the truth.
Wow. Okay.
Because if you watched his video, whenever people that use that stuff, they have uncontrolled tics or movement. He kept rubbing his lips together, and his jaws were kind of rubbing together in certain parts. I mean, it wasn't bad, but he was trying to control it.
I kind of thought that too without him knowing. I always thought maybe NK was putting something in his shakes.
Yeah. I don't think he knew it. No, I don't think he knew it. I think that whatever she was giving him in the mornings in small doses over time, he became, because he lost a whole lot of weight real quick.
Oh, right. So you think someone was actually giving him drugs?
NK was every morning. A brown drink.
He was putting like steroids in his shakes or something.
Oh my. Yeah,
something.
I mean, that could be possible. That's entirely possible. But I mean, I know that didn't Thrive have a lot of caffeine?
Yeah, there's that too.
But if you mix that with another caffeine.
Yeah.
No, come on. There was a lot. Robbie he thrives, and he even needs to take breaks from it because it's so much caffeine messes with his sleep and stuff.
Right. So and I know he's cutting back on caffeine anyway. So yeah.
Yeah, so it's possible it was just Thrive, but he swears that NK gave him a drink every morning at work.
Well, yeah, he walked up with one when he met the cops. It's all on the body camera. He was shaking one of them shakes right up and right on there. Yeah.
Yeah, I know he relied on that stuff.
I just wanted to let you know she is going in other groups saying something different than what she said in her book. But
interesting. Now I'm wondering if she simply didn't. Yeah, I don't know, because her book is, like I said, the ending where she tells us what she believes. It's very definite. Oh no, we lost Angela. It's very definite. It's her conclusion, and it says basically what I say. The same stuff that, the same conclusion I've always come to.
Imagine that.
Her sister Jamie disappeared after he went to Jamie. No, I hope no one's blaming Jamie. I love Jamie. She's a lovely girl. Really, she is.
Don't do that.
Yeah, don't. No, I wouldn't even, I wouldn't think anyone could blame Jamie. She's a puppy dog. I think, if you want to call somebody a puppy dog. But no, I don't know. I have heart arrhythmia. I can only have one shot of espresso. Yeah. Yeah, I know. I drink a lot of coffee in the morning, guys, which is probably why I never sleep. So, but I take Ambien to sleep at night. Go figure that. Um, anyway, so I don't know. Max, are you there?
Hi, Max.
I think you got your mic muted, hun. No, I still can't hear you. Hit on your screen. You should see across the bottom. It'll say
yes,
mute.
Hello. How are
There you
Hello.
go.
How are you?
Good. Nice talking to you all.
Oh, thanks for coming up. Nice talking to you too. So what do you think? I mean, have you bought the book, or are you going to, or?
No, I have not bought the book. I read the first one, and the second one to me seems it seems like it came out at the perfect timing, all after the Netflix documentary. We have all these new things coming out that are
Sure.
connected right after Netflix documentary. We have the lady KK. Now we have this new book.
Yes.
Those are not coincidences. It's mostly catered for new people who are just discovering the case, I think.
Correct. It does seem as if that's how she planned her book to. Well, also, it's sort of a mix of both. It was done well with a few more edits. It would have been thought great. It would have been excellent, superb. But I think that the book, right? She does go through explaining the crime all over again, and again, it goes through when the media came out, and it goes through when he was interrogated. And there are a lot of, there's a lot of repeating the exact words of the interrogation, where she did give, she said, "This is from the interrogation. Here's what." She did it fine, but she is telling the story as if you're coming into the case new, which is fine too. I mean, I think you have to. I think you would have to. When I've written a sequel before of one of my books, and I retold the story throughout the first few chapters again, so in case someone's coming into the book, the second book. You do that, I guess. I guess
I think that from all the books that are out, honestly, not because I'm on your panel, yours is probably and it's not about being accurate or not. It's the best storytelling and murder in a way that represents what happened. And you're not speculating, you're just putting the facts out. The other people are just claiming they talked to this man, to Chris.
Right.
And I just have a question about that. I don't understand how this man is still walking in jail. We all know that baby killers, anyone that touches a kid in prison is seen as like a target.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah.
And he seems to be like the celebrity in that prison. Everyone goes to see him. KK, the letters, Cadle. I just don't get it. This is so bizarre to me.
It is.
And honestly, if he keeps on talking and putting this facade on of being a celebrity, because that's what he thinks he is, he's going to end up in trouble in jail.
Well, I think that they've accepted him. And again, we've seen Chris in action where he is the guy next door, the sweetest guy. And again, something else that comes up in this book, not to change the subject, but before I forget to say it, is the possibility that he has Asperger's. And he actually agrees that he may very well have that disorder. So that's something that I think that has been out there as well. But he has never. Is that my line clicking, guys, or is that someone else?
Not mine.
Oh my God, that's me.
Oh my gosh, what are you doing, Cher? Are you popping popcorn?
Sorry.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
I thought I was muted.
Oh, you're so funny. Oh my gosh.
People are texting me stuff about what's being said, but I'm not going to say it live.
It's you. No, but and so I think that there's a lot of, I think according to her book, she believes Chris did it on his own. There was nobody else there. Again, pretty much what I believe, and I think that it's a straightforward book, and she does include the letters, and they are very interesting. And she includes some letters he wrote to his family, which are very interesting.
Why
And
though? Why was this not done the first time? I'm going to keep asking that damn question. Why?
Exactly.
I think she wanted to get it out quickly, and I don't quite know. But she did have a lot of time, though. I mean, I think she did
That's what I'm
the
saying.
visits
Why
in
are you
April,
leaving
and
it on there?
she got it
No,
out in October.
no.
So for me, that would be time to write 2 books, basically. But I think that I don't know. But I thought she was experienced at writing something, some format, whatever, even if it was just church flyers or whatever. I would
Well, she
think that
claimed to me she wrote for Reader's Digest for 20 years.
oh, okay. Well,
I
that's
was
something.
not able to find that or link that to be true. If anyone else can, cool, but I was unable.
Hey, I've learned a lot. How you doing, hon? But yeah, she I don't know. The lube and Underwood. What do you mean don't burn bridges? Oh.
Oh,
Who is burning what? I'm not burning
nobody.
anything. Okay.
I'm burning Cheryln Cadle's book down.
You are. You're gonna do it, aren't you? You're gonna order that book to burn it. You're terrible. But I
Even though I
believe
might
in
hold
giving
on to it
second
now.
chances, which is why I read this book I read it quickly, and I'm gonna go back and actually read the parts where she is, describing the crime again, because that's important. And I think from what I saw from skimming, she's doing a fine job of that, except for those paragraphs. I'll never get over the paragraphs. But that's something that a lot of first time authors do. And if you haven't been a news writer ever, you probably don't know about those paragraph things. But whatever, that's fine. But an editor should have caught it. But still, if she did a vanity press, and I don't know how good their editors are. I don't know. I might buy a Watts book at half prices. Oh gosh, half price books. I think that I don't know. I don't know if mine are on sale anywhere. I don't know. Just Google it. It might be, half price at Walmart or something.
Megan J, you're horrible. Megan
Can I
J
ask a
said,
question?
Megan J said, if you
Yeah.
believe Cadle, then remember Josh the other night.
I know. Oh my gosh. Is this okay? You start to believe it, Kyle, so I just remember the code. You're right.
Yes.
You're right. And I started watching that too, Cher, that where you put up UnJustified's video, and then I realized someone messaged me and said the book's out, and she gave me the link, which was awesome. And I started reading the book, and so I forgot. I'm gonna go back and watch the rest of that later tonight. But I'm sorry, Max, did you have a question that I kind of cut you off on?
No, you're okay. No,
Okay.
I'm just, to me, the way I'm looking at it is the problem here is that after Netflix, there was a huge marketing, let's call it, opportunity for many people. Cadle won maybe, and then
Sure.
KK and all the rest of look, if you go on YouTube, you're going to see a lot of new creators talking about it,
Sure.
because a lot of people did not know about this case, believe it or not.
Right.
And
Right.
we can tell when someone's talking, and we can tell immediately, oh, you're just discovered the case. I'm like, okay, I don't even reply, because there's a lot of things we know from before. I think this is the reason why these things are happening. And Cadle found an opportunity. But bottom line, the only responsible for all this is Christopher Watts, because he's the one lying constantly, feeding lies, twisting his imagination. One day he says one thing, the other day he says another thing. He claims he cares about his family. He does not care about his parents, because if he did, he would tell them the truth. What happened that day? Why did he take the confession? The plea, sorry. What went down there? And it's his fault, basically. Everything comes down to him. And that's my opinion. He's a fool. He's a fool, and he's a monster. He's the worst.
Yes.
I think he's probably the worst criminal of this last decade, honestly, because the fact that he comes out such a good old guy. Oh, Chrissy, no,
Yes.
this guy is dangerous. Dangerous. That's my
He
opinion.
is. And I think, that's the problem with, and I still see him as a psychopath. And I know that Dr. B doesn't agree with me, and that's fine. She knows her stuff. I don't. Cher, thank you so much for being here. As always, I love you. And Goodbye.
Cher.
I hope you can come back later, but maybe not. If not, that's fine. We love you. Tanya Cadle will be on Zav's channel tomorrow. Okay, thank you. If I can make that, with the holidays coming up and everything, I've got so much stuff going on in my life right now. I can't promise anything. I feel bad because I haven't even been up here. I haven't been here for ages and ages, and I appreciate you guys still following me. But I think that Chris, if he's a psychopath, that's where we get the good guy attitude. That's where we
Yes.
get the way that he can sort of be a chameleon and emulate any personality he needs to for the moment. He can look at, how would a good guy husband behave? And this is how he'd behave, so he can imitate a good guy husband.
Yeah.
And the real Chris, as Lena says in her book, the real Chris was the person that Shanann met that night. He wasn't the guy who she had been living with for 8 years. He was the guy who took off the mask finally, and that's a problem that a lot of people have when they do meet the true person behind the psychopath in front of them. They find out that the person behind the mask was the real guy to begin with, and
Yes.
that's
It's
just
terrifying.
the way it is.
Yes.
And it is
And also,
terrifying.
let's not forget
And
that, there's camps of people saying so-and-so helped, so-and-so was there. There was 4 people. We have all these
right,
conspiracies. But
right.
bottom line, he disposed his children in oil tanks. That is a fact. And
Right.
for that, I mean, I can't imagine anyone worse than him in walking this earth right now. You've seen what
No.
those tanks look like when
I know.
Dr. B went.
Yes.
It's just horrendous. And I do have my opinion of what happened with the girls, why Cece was disposed in the closest tank to the truck. I
Sure.
never understood that. If you
What do you
go up
think?
to if you go up, if your truck is parked next to the ladders and the first child goes into the first tank, why the first tank? Why not put her in the second tank? It just makes no sense. I think he literally had both girls walking up the ladder.
Oh
And
my.
one went in first, and then the second one went in the other tank that was farther away. He didn't do 2 trips up and down the stairs. I'm telling you, I don't believe that.
Wow.
But
And
yeah.
I'm sorry, do you think he actually smothered them the way he said, or were they? Let's pray they weren't alive. I mean, I don't know.
We don't know if those kids went down dead.
Oh my. Yeah, I know. And some part of me, for whatever reason, I think Bella was still. She may have been unconscious, but I think she was. I think she might have been alive, and I don't know about Cece. I really don't know. So you think that he walked them both up together? You think they were together when they walked up?
I think they were together because the truck was positioned. So the truck was there, and the first tank was where Cece was disposed, and then you walk a little more, and that's the second tank. So I'm thinking, if I'm putting groceries away, I always start with the furthest, the place that's the further away from me, because I have to use. You understand what I'm saying? Maybe I'm not explaining.
No, sure, I understand. No, definitely. Yeah. See, I start with the closest, though. When I'm putting groceries away, I'm like, okay, this goes in the fridge. That's what I come to first before I go over to the cupboard. That kind of thing.
Okay, fine, but then you had another, let's say, grocery bag to put away, right?
Right.
So you have it there with you, and then you walk to the second tank. That's why I think that he had both girls up there. He went up the stairs once with both girls. My opinion. That's my opinion. And I do believe he did it all by himself. And I do believe that someone knew something. And I'm not going to say who, but that 110-minute call, please, there had to be a conversation. Not saying that she was responsible, but there is something that she knew. And for that, she has to come forward because she lied to law enforcement.
Okay. I mean, that's entirely no. Here, Emma, I'm sorry. The mask would have slipped sooner. What with all the health issues and financial problems, a real psychopath narcissist would have raised their ugly head sooner due to lack of control. That's possible, but I don't know if he kept it all bottled up inside of him. I'm not. Again, I have a degree in social sciences / psych, but it's only an undergraduate, bachelor's degree. So I don't remember, I don't remember much about all those terms and things like that. I never did anything with it, but that's possible. He might have slipped up before. Let's see what Stephanie says. And should I have to? Oh, thank you, Stephanie, for being here. Love you bunches. I'm glad to be back. Aw, thank you. I hope to see you soon. I appreciate all you guys coming back. AD needs to stop defending her. Who are we talking about? And I'm having technical trouble here. I can't pull up the chat every once in a while. Defending her, it's making him look worse. I'm sorry, who is he defending? Cheryln? Or, I mean, I don't know who he's um forgive me. Again, I haven't watched any of my friends' YouTubes, and I'm a terrible, terrible friend, I guess, but I've been so doggone busy. You know, for me, there are way too many things to the point that others being involved. That's, a lot of people can't get over that. Oh, thank you. I think a lot of people can't get over all the bizarre things that, the questions that are left. And someone said it, and I don't know where it is. Forgive me for not finding it, but maybe what you're saying, Max, is why Bella had the bruises on the bottoms of her feet, because maybe she did have to walk up there with nothing on her little feet. That makes a lot of sense. Yeah.
Correct.
I hope not. My God, I hope not.
So
I really
that's
hope
why
not.
for that situation, for this walking up the ladder and taking her to the tanks, only because of that, he's the worst evil person, murderer in this last century to me. And if someone else helped, or I don't know, or was together in this, he's the one who put his kids in the tank. So there's no
I know.
discussion here. He's guilty, 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 guilty.
I think so too. I agree with you. I think he did it on his own, and you're not going to put your babies in a tank. And where in the world? And what really disturbs me is I mean, if Chris has this great big story to tell, fine, tell us the story. He's been speaking through Kim, or has he? I don't know. I would love to talk to her, and I think Robbie had her on his channel. I'd love to talk to Kim. If you're out there, come up here to find out exactly why what's going on with that story again about Shanann being guilty. And of course I don't believe that. I don't believe that at all. I really don't. Jenna, you mean defending Cheryln? I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. I think maybe Cheryln, if you're out there, come up here. I want to know if you changed your mind after you released the book. I keep putting up the link. Anyone can come up. I'd like to know if indeed, if what she's saying to AD right now is what she really believes. Because again, in the book, she firmly believed what I believe, and you can change your mind, and you're not a flip flopper. And we're trying to solve a crime that appears to be unsolved to so many people. So we can change our minds as we get more evidence. That's something that's open to everyone, even myself. I might find information tomorrow that says that no, Chris wasn't even there that night. That he didn't do anything. I doubt
No.
it. But
AD was the one who let the world know about the shadow. That is a fact. We did see a little shadow walking up the driveway. We can see it, and that means that one of the girls were still walking. Not two,
right.
but one. At least one was walking.
At least one. Correct.
So that is something AD came up with, and I think it's a great discovery. Now, if he wants to have Cadle in his show, that's up to him. He can do whatever he wants. I don't criticize him for that. And I don't dislike Cadle. I'm just thinking that she's maybe a little opportunist. Right after Netflix, everything's coming out. KK, this and that. You did this book way back, So it's all about that. It's the momentum, right? It's the right time to put all these things out.
for a while. I don't know if we have a snowstorm coming or what's going on, but thank you guys for sticking it out. Let me see here. Yeah, so I know no visual or audio. That was my fault. For whatever reason, my Wi-Fi crashed. I'm literally doing it through my phone right now. I've got a personal hotspot going on my poor little phone. So I'm still here. Yeah, Chris is a walking curse. Anyone that enters into his lair gets cursed. I think I agree. It's so strange that this entire case seems like it is cursed. You're right. And yeah, I think I'm back, Angelina. Again, I'm going through my poor little phone here. A hotspot because my Wi-Fi crashed. I think my daughter's cooking or my husband is, and sometimes we blow a fuse. I don't know why it affects the Wi-Fi. Oh my gosh. But yeah, we're okay. But I'm here. Yeah, and again, Max, if anybody else wants to come up here and chat, that would be lovely. I could talk on and on forever, but I enjoy talking to people. But no, going back to Cheryln's book again, it was done fine. If you weren't here earlier, I explained that what she does essentially is she goes through the for people who are just walking into the case, for people who may be new here because of the Netflix documentary or whatever reason, people who are coming into the case, fresh and new. She does explain the whole thing all over again, which is great. She walks through the story of what happened. And then she does put in some letters. She puts in she fronts it as saying it's miscellaneous conversations she had with Chris, and she doesn't quote it. And again, this seems to be some sort of an editorial issue where the editor didn't put in quotation marks where she has Chris speaking, but I don't know if it's spoken word or if it's letters or it's both, because it appears to be a combination of both, where he does in fact tell the story of what happened. And he even mentions the fact that he had planned this, ahead of time, at least for a couple of weeks. He said that, there was a point at which he was with Nikki and she started talking about him getting an apartment with the girls away from Shanann. And he thinks that that's the point. It was a couple of weeks prior to the murders that he started believing that he was going to have to do this. And he did plan to kill the girls. It wasn't an afterthought. Let's see here. And it turns people against each other and causes bitter hate. And here we all are just breathing and eating the next thing he throws at us. Are you talking? I'm assuming you're talking about Chris Watts. And you're right. It's insane. It's absolutely insane what's happening with Chris Watts. I wish someone would go in there, figure this man out, and come out and tell us what's really going on. And that's what I already put up here. Okay, sorry guys. Let's hope my little phone holds out with its cute little Wi-Fi. Yeah, and it does turn people against each other. You're right. And I think that's not only the case for the Watts murders. That happened. Again, I've been involved in true crime since I was basically a kid myself, and Adam Walsh was killed. And I had a little brother, kind of about the same age as Adam, and it reminded me of my brother and whatever. I was interested in that as a little kid. It just shocked me. And so I've been involved with true crime forever. And as far as doing it online, we're talking about way back in the JonBenét days when she was killed. I was on Websleuths. And I had my little girl a couple years later. We had our daughter, and I was into, whenever my daughter would take a nap, I'd hop on Websleuths, and I actually had Tricia from Websleuths on here one night, which was kind of cool. I was like fangirling the whole time she was sitting up there. But I was involved in true crime online then, and there was fighting. I mean, infighting among people who thought that the Ramsey family killed their own baby, and people who thought that it was some kind of a crazy intruder. Now, I believe that the mother killed JonBenét, and I believe it was an accident. But that's another story altogether. But there has been fighting in the true crime community, at least that was 25 years ago, at least since I've been looking at it online. True Tam, are you here? Are you here, girl? You want to come up here? I feel like a bad friend. I haven't been watching people's stuff or anything. I've been so busy. Anybody who wants to take that link and come up here, that would be beautiful. Because I can talk forever by myself and to myself, but I like to talk to people. And you guys know I love you. I'm so glad that everybody's actually coming to listen to me babble tonight because I've been gone for so long. But again, with the advent of Cheryln's book coming out tonight or this afternoon, I grabbed a copy of her Kindle book. And that's all that's up. And again, in the description under my video, you're going to see a link to Cheryln's Kindle book. Now, if the paperback exists at this point, it'll appear right next to the Kindle copy if you want to buy a paperback. I think it's worth it. The $3.99. It was certainly worth the $3.99 to get in there and read and see his letter. She does have. Ooh, somebody's here. Max is back. Hey, Max, welcome back. Sorry about the crash that kicked you out. How are you? No, I'm not losing it again, am I? Come on, Wi-Fi, stay up. My sweet little phone Wi-Fi here. I'm such a technical airhead. I don't know. And yeah, people make fun of me for being an airhead in general, and I am. I admit it. That's fine. Whatever. But are you there, Matt?
Yeah, I'm here now. I got disconnected.
I'm getting a bit of an echo, and I don't know if that. Do you have your volume up? No.
I'll put my volume lower, but I have nothing on. Do you hear me better now?
No, it still sounds. Is that just me that I'm hearing Max wrong, guys? Is she kind of echoey?
Is it me?
Are we back? Are we really back? It's going to keep going in and out. I think I didn't know there was any snowstorm or anything. It feels like it, though. It's cold out there. Thank you, Sarah Jane. I'm so glad you're here, too. She says she's glad she found the channel. I'm really glad you're here. I'm glad everybody's here. And for whatever reason, Max is buffering. So, oh, hold on. Yeah, whatever, guys. Forgive me. And I know you guys are going to, the mean people are going to tell me about how awful it was that I disconnected here and there and everywhere. And I did. It's my fault. Whatever. Thank you, Sarah Jane. That's very kind of you. And I lost Max again. I think I might wrap this up here pretty quickly. But if you guys didn't hear me earlier, I believe that Cheryln's book is worth buying. I got a $3.99 copy of her Kindle book, and it is worth buying. I think that Emma, I'm so sorry. Yeah, my Wi-Fi. I've got this high speed Xfinity Wi-Fi, which just doesn't seem to be able to work for me ever. I'm so sorry. But yeah, so now it's on now for a second, I think. But the book is worth buying. She does go into a lot of information about the case from beginning to now. If you guys haven't, if there are some people who are out there who are new to the case, then this book is great because she'll tell you the story all over again, which is fine. She also includes Christopher's letters, the downfalls. There's nothing new really that comes out. At the very, Cheryln pretty much comes to the same conclusion that I've always come to, that Chris Watts did this all on his own, that he did not have any accomplices help him, and that he premeditated it. And this is pretty much what Chris says in the book. Again, the letters are not, I don't think there's any new information. I do understand why she only included the one letter in her previous book. As far as reading, the book reads better, much better. It reads as if, she has a shot at, this being a real book. It's fine. The paragraphs are a bit too long. There are a few grammatical errors, but nothing like the first book. It actually works. I think it's worth the $3.99 to get the Kindle copy, and I'm hoping that she comes across with the paperback sooner or later. I think it should happen in the next couple of days, knowing how publishers are. But anyway, yeah, okay, good. Yeah, Jenny said she bought it just for the letters. Good idea. And you guys, there is no bombshell new information. I'm sorry. There is nothing new in the book that we didn't know before. I don't know what to say about that. I haven't been listening to her interviews, so I don't know. She just said on ATD that he did not act. Yeah, I know. People have been telling me that. I don't know. I can't hear. Oh, Max, I'm so sorry. Thank you for being here. You were awesome, and you're welcome back anytime I come up here. And I forgive me for the technical issues. I don't know what's going on. I'll talk to my husband about trying to make sure it's good next time. My house is tall, and the Wi-Fi connection is like a couple floors down from me, and where I'm sitting right now. I'll try to do it like in the living room or something next time, so it's a better connection. And we're supposed to get those little, I don't know what they're called. I'm a very bad technical person, but where you have like a little Wi-Fi connection like on every floor or something like that. I don't know what that is, but I'm hoping we can do that soon. I'm a mess, but I'm glad I got to come out and talk to all you guys. Cheryln's book, it's worth the purchase, I think, at least again for the letters. No really new riveting information. And I will talk to you guys again soon. Thank you for being here. Thank you for subscribing. And I'll be back shortly, soon in a few days. Have a wonderful holiday. Have a great Christmas. And I'm hoping I'll be back maybe the day after Christmas. But I love you all, and thank you for putting up with my with all my technical baloney. Thanks again, guys. Have a good night.